Welcome to this DDi CADcast. Today we're covering a little item for SOLIDWORKS Electrical for doing internal user part number. So maybe you have a part number for a component and you want to bring that into electrical. Alright, so there's a couple of ways of actually storing user data with SOLIDWORKS Electrical. The first one is actually at the component level, and then the other one is at a manufacturer's part level. Component level, or symbol level, I guess I should say. Let's go and do the symbol level one. So I'm going to go to the Schematics tab. I'm going to go and insert a symbol, and I'll just go and insert a simple connector male pin symbol there. So I'm going to drop that in, and you'll see that there's user data fields down here at the bottom, regular user data fields and translatable. Translatable is if you're going to import or export them to an ERP system. User data is just essentially internally to SOLIDWORKS Electrical. So we're just going to add some more here. To add some additional, and it's only typically on a per project basis, but you can add them globally. Over on the project tab, configurations, come down to user data, and it opens up this configuration, user data configuration manager. So over here on the left is essentially the database of all the different possible user data tables to pull from. So I'm going to sort it by description, and I'm going to look for the table for connectors. If I do a right click in properties here, that'll change it for everybody. Or if you're just wanting to do a quick test, do an add to project, and they'll actually put it over on the left hand side just for that particular project that you're working on. So most of the time I like to add it to the project, make my changes, make sure it's good. Once I'm done, then I'll put it back over and let it update the original one. So I'm going to go properties. So you'll see the two fields there, user data or translatable data. To add a new field, highlight the category you want, or the group. You can also make new groups if you want. So I'll go and insert data, and I'm going to give it a label. Okay. And I'll go and change this top one here. So I'm going to change it, instead of translatable data, I'm going to say internal company part number. I think that's spelled right. Might not be, but you'll see if it is or isn't. I'll go and hit OK there. Again, because it's over on the left, it's just for this one project. I'll go and close out. Now if I go back into that symbol, you'll see that I actually have a spot for the internal company part number. Okay, I'm going to accept that, and I want to add one at a manufacturer level. So let's go and take a look at manufacturer. So I'm going to jump over to the Libraries tab, Manufacturer Part Manager, Connectors. I'm just going to use this top one here just because it's easy to get to. I'll go and do a right click in Properties. You'll see on the Properties tab there are some fields here that are predefined that we can put stuff in, but maybe I want some additional fields to add, well, my internal part number at the manufacturer level. So what we need to do to get the user data fields for there is we need to close out of our library manager, go into our ERP database connection, and whether you're actually connecting it to an ERP or not, it's just a matter of enabling the fact that we're turning on those extra data fields. So I authorize the connection to the database. Default, it's going to be SOLIDWORKS Electrical's database, or you could connect it to another SQL database if need be. Maximize it here so it's easier to see. So we have manufacturer parts, and we also have cable references. So those are the two categories that we have the ability of connecting to. Okay, so we're going to modify the existing. So I'm going to hit the customize down here. And then rather than translatable data, we're just going to go with user data for this one. So I'm just going to modify the original one that's there. Inside part number, Hit OK there. Hit OK again. So now I'll go back into my manufacturer part manager. Come to my connectors, and I can actually do this with any part now. So if I go to the properties of any part, you'll see that there's an extra tab. And again, the extra tab is because it's 2015. If it was 2014, you'd actually see that, an extra area down below here on the first page there for the ERP data. So you'll see internal company part number. You'll see that I already had one in there, so let's go and modify that to AB something. Hit OK. Close that. So now when I go into my symbol properties, go to my manufacturer, I'll go and search, gonna look for connectors. I could also change the manufacturer part info here, so if I wanted to add it to another one, so properties, again ERP tab, inside company part number, give it the part number, hit OK there. Always want to add it before I add it to my project or add it to my list down below. Reason being is that way it adds it to the database rather than just the one component I'm working on. Double click, adds it down below, hit select, hit OK. Now that part actually has that manufacturer data in there. If you choose to, you can actually open the symbol and you can also add an attribute if you need to have that internal part number show up next to your symbol as well. That's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.